Alright, y'all. Got this audio working. Didn't even have to have a W crash out, but Merry Christmas. The only reason W crash out's top of mind right now, I like to ask my boys, hey, best Christmas present? Funny ass question. Well, I specify from their parents. One of my boys said he got a W crash out from his dad for Christmas, which is a pretty good gift, that seems like a tradition. But yeah, pretty much best Christmas of my life. I just been vibing. Uh, anyways, let's get to the fucking chase. I'm starting this thing because I paused, and I'll actually get back to that in a moment. Um, hey, I paused. We're what, like 10 seconds in? I paused. We'll touch back on that. This is the first time I'm doing something like this. I've done it a lot of times in the past, but this is like the first time I'm doing something like this. It's I love talking. I can talk a lot. I like talking. I'm good at talking. Good at talking to people. I'm good at presentations. Um, but there's a two-edged sword here. One, I feel very uncomfortable about being my authentic self uh, to people I'm not close with. So, like I'm good at talking to coworkers and all that, but I pretty much dictate the conversation towards them. But then the other part, which is what this is really tackling, is I am terrible at sharing anything with the anonymous world. Something online, writing stuff, making stuff. I never want it to go online because there's some bizarre nature to it to me. I'm not sure really what it's like. I did some audio tests, and right now I realize I'm staring a rock back and forth. This just sounds whack. Oh well, dear diary, how about you write about it in your diary? Diary of Madman, hey, Wu-Tang Clan. What the fuck? Oh, anyways, I'm kind of hoping, and like I said, this is the first time I'm doing it, something like this, but I've also done this before. It feels like good practice to be able to talk and put something out there. To just have something that I care so little for while I also value it so much, if that makes sense. Because this is essentially invisible in itself. And I'm just gonna put it on a YouTube channel, and then I'm gonna have a comment every 2 years. I'll be like, oh damn, no way someone commented on it, and they're gonna be like, oh, please follow my channel. I can help you make music videos like this. Some shit like that, like stormy songs. Um, but why am I paying attention to the goddamn gameplay? If I'm remembering, by the way, this is ass. I figured just throw some stuff in the background. I'm not playing this live, no way. Um, not cherry pick gameplay at all either. But there's a real struggle for me with authenticity of what I do. When it comes to certain things, I'm super like it feels impossible not to be authentic, when it comes to what I find funny, what I find interesting. I'm terrible and kind of intentionally terrible. I didn't care to hone that skill. Is like laughing at jokes that suck ass from people you don't care about. If a client or coworker tells me a joke that's dookie, they're getting silence, and it's gonna be a little bit weird. But that's neither here nor there. I just heard that saying for the first time today. Um, Santa actually brought me a book of sayings. I actually did get a book of Japanese sayings for Christmas. That was holy shit. I only got gifts from two people in my life. One of them was my Japanese coworker who's like 20 something years older than me. No way more than 20 years older than me. But yeah, he got me a book of Japanese proverbs and sayings. In English, by the way. Bless his heart. Is that kind of cool, my heart? Um, but you can kind of see I'm doing it right now. I'm doing that whole dance around. I can get out of all the things, and I'm good at even the way I framed it. It seems like I captured everything. But when it comes to authenticity, it is what does one do? What does one share? And there's something beautiful. I feel like you can see this in your ditzy colleagues. I think they are some of the most beautiful souls in the sense of, you'll know what I mean by a ditzy colleague. But they're the ones who will tell you all about something pretty minor they did over the weekend. You know, they went to a restaurant and they'll tell you all about it. And you might be bored. If I like the person, nah, go ahead, tell me goddamn everything. But you best know I'm about to flame the shit out of you for stupid stuff you say. But either way, it's so cool, it's so amazing to me when they can tell me, oh yeah, my friend did this and then I did that and then here's a bad thing I did and here's a good thing I did. But I'm saying both in the same tone, like I'm not value systeming it. And then here's the stuff I found fun, which from my perspective, I'm like, that's embarrassing and stupid, but I don't care. Because when I view it as embarrassing and stupid, I view it from the perspective of imagining myself sharing that. You know, imagining, oh yeah, this weekend on Christmas night, I played some games. I recorded an hour unfiltered of me playing games. By the way, I think at certain points here I just leave for a few minutes. And then just rambled off it based on, I got a little notebook in front of me, 8 words on it. Barely can comprehend. Barely can put together exactly what I was going for there. But I figured having a little guide stone, since clearly get a little lost here, would be helpful. But there's that problem, and I think a good equivalent there is the gym, where most people, before you actually start going to the gym, if you're weak or insecure about your body, or even if you're secure about, it doesn't fucking matter. You get worried, you're like, oh fuck, everyone's gonna judge me. The only judgment you get, like genuine judgment, from my perspective, is someone thinking, oh, I'm surprised they're this fat and showing up to the gym. But it's not in a, oh, I'm viewing them as a fat person. It's them viewing you as almost like a conductor, a projection, as a, if I was that fat, would I have been able to come here, or would I have been worried about getting judged? Unless someone's doing something fucking wild at the gym. Freshman year of college, was at the gym with my buddy, 5'4" at the time, who weighed 92 pounds. I was doing either squats or overhead press, I don't know. But then on the rack right next to me, some kid, just one look at him. No, this must have been junior, sophomore year. And he was a freshman. Jacked as shit. He was overhead pressing 2 plates. Some shit like that. No, it must have been. This is so unimportant. I'm pulling the real dad telling you about history type shit. Oh, actually, I think it was in 1943. No, 2. No, 3. Um, Whatever. He put his barbell up and then started unracking, and then he took all 3 plates off one side at the same time, and I could see it as it was happening and managed to go catch the other end. Not like you guys get what I'm saying. I'm not a fucking gigantic man holding all that weight in one hand. It's just the balancing act. And he was kind of, his brain was how you would think someone built like that is. I'm doing a test. I love walking and talking. We'll see how this records. Episode 1. Hi, Shuggy Boogie. Did Why is the floor wet here? I say that shit and he was like, "Oh, at my gym, like that never happened." No fucking idea how that. Maybe their plates were really small. These were, you know, Olympic sized. Apologies for that. I was like, I'm gonna do this all in one take. But yo, my mama's calling me. 6:30. She's 6 hour time zone gap. Hey, there's a little riddle for you. Where the fuck I'm living? For you, you little. Ew, she's looking. Never mind. Fuck, I didn't even expand the fucking VLC player the whole way. Oops. Um, yeah, I've been getting a lot of comments. Hey, this gameplay's kind of ass. It's not lining up and all that. Bro, how about you stop focusing on how I line up my gameplay and you focus on lining up your hair? Bro, I cut like crazy this past like like 4 months this year, dude. My hairline got so my hairline is fine, but my thinning in my hair, crazy mode. Anyways, this dude at the gym, sweetheart, talked to him for like a bit after. Real, like he is one of those dudes who's just fuck with the gym heavy, and because of that, I'm a nice person. And that's something I realize about myself, and I think a lot of people acknowledge that about themselves at the gym. If you work out and you work out hard, you just feel good. But then it's like, do I want to feel good or is feeling shitty better? You know, it's a tough thing. Yo, even in toothache, there's pleasure. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, mon. But yeah, when I was coming to the worry of judgment, that gym example is a highlight of. It's all sorry. By the way, I'm talking about it. I was away for like an hour and a half talking to my mama about some bullshit, not anything. Um, but it's like, and I'm saying this all out loud because it's why the fuck am I worried about it then? If I'm able to acknowledge all this sort of stuff, you know? It's, oh, okay, the fucking, uh, who the fuck gives a shit? Like, what's the worst case scenario for me? You know, the only reason it would be bad to release stuff to the public is if some aspect of my life depended on the results. Shuggy. She is going berserk on my flannel shirt that's on the couch. It's so cute. Yo, editor, throw a picture of Shuggy in here. I'm just playing. If I'm really happy with how this comes out, maybe I'll do that. Maybe next episode out there. This is so fucking adorable. Anyways, back to authenticity. In reality, I can think of so many aspects where it's so many situations in life. I'm at a party, I'm at a bar, I'm in a class, I'm at work, doing this, that, for the other. I'm talking to fucking strangers in college. I would just make eye contact with strangers that were clearly other college students and be like, "Hey, you doing anything, or can you want to hang out and chill?" And then I would just follow them. Man, I was going to like random people's classes. I never got a single person's phone number on purpose. I feel terrible about one. Um, My girl right now, the fucking love of my life, she fucking wrapped her soul around mine and choked it to fucking death. I remember I told her, I'm saying this because this is why I was hesitating to say it, because her ass loves me, so she'll want to listen to this, and then she'll, whatever. When I said this story, I could tell in the look in her eyes, she was like, "You're an asshole." I bumped into a girl, I stared her in the eyes and I was like, "Hey, you wanna go for a walk?" I was in Richmond, Virginia. Snowed like a foot. I was on a sleep schedule where I was up at like 6 a.m. Walked, the cemetery was closed. I hopped the fence, did a lap, came out. I saw the same girl that I had seen like 40 minutes before, and she was just like she was just picking up snow in her hands, like, "What is this?" And I was like, "That's cute, that's fun. I'm curious what she's thinking." Anyways, I ended up talking to her for like 6 hours and kind of did what I was saying in the beginning here. All of these people I talked to, they knew nothing about me. Man, I don't know if any of them knew my fucking name. But talked to her for like 6 hours, then was like, "Alright, later, playa." Like 3 days later, I was at the dining hall, me and like fucking 9 buddies. Rare. That was like the only time we had that many people eating together. And she came up to me. She was like, "Oh my God, hey, blah, blah, blah. Can I get your number?" And I landed a joke based on I'm 18 years old at this time, so, so keep that in mind. But and I was basing it off of her complaining about a dude who ghosted her, which I still don't really understand as a thing conceptually. I was very immature in that regard. Um, and I was like, "Sure, but I'm not gonna text you back." Saying that fucking out loud right now. Oh my God, dude. The boys at the table were laughing, but not like, "Oh, he landed a funny diss," but like, "Wow, you are a absolute fucking maniac." And it was pretty fucking humiliating. Anyways, I can talk about this whole authenticity thing a ton, but that little break I had to take made it a lot trickier for me to know kind of where I left off, and I don't want to be too repetitive. So, the other thing I want to talk about is, well, I can talk forever. One of the other things why I wanted to do this is I said I'm good at talking. I said blah blah, I said all that, but a very specific thing that ditzy person I specified before, that archetype, they're able to talk specifically so much about nothing. You can think about fucking Review Brah and so many like anime YouTubers. One of my boys in college, obsessed. We would watch so many videos, and it would just be like an hour and a half where they were like, "Actually, Naruto's got the 9 tails." But that's tricky for me. I'm doing a great job, I think, for myself of trying not to be overly concise. I've always been critical of when people take too long to say shit. But most of the time, that's less fun. There's no rush. I have an issue. Kitty. Kitty's upside down right now. Oh, ow. You're not asking for a belly rub? No, you're asking for a head scratch, huh? Why don't you put your head upside down, dumbass? Fuck this cat. Yo, fuck you. I flicked him off for all y'all. But, something like this, it feels like great practice because I already like carrying conversations. but being able to extend them out forever and ever and ever. Because so this isn't something I would do, but for example, if I'm meeting a friend of a friend and they're like, what do you do for fun? I could be like, oh, I like playing games and writing and reading. You know, and that shit is fucking okay. You gave no openings. The more you talk in conversation, the more openings you give. Especially if you do it in a slower pace and you make it clear you are allowing them the room to hop in. Sometimes people do this long, slow cadence and they hate being interrupted, treating it like it's not a conversation, it's a let's take turns monologuing. Um, but, you know, you keep it flowing, people are always going to have something to hop into. And if you're able to remember well enough, you can always hop back in if conversation dies onto that, or you can hop off of whatever they say. Hey, and welcome to my conversational tips advice. I'm gonna teach you guys today how to win friends and influence people. Yo, hold up. My girl, she works with me. She's my work wife. Anyways, I was making jokes about how to win friends and influence people. I got that joke because I thought it was funny, or I got that book like 7 years ago from me and a few buddies because I thought it was funny as hell. Um, and literally, actually, only one of them read it with me. But that shit is hilarious. And I was making a hella jokes about it to my girl. And then 1 week, I don't even think a full week later, our CEO had a sudden all staff meeting and then started referencing Dale Carnegie like he was some fucking goat. And yo, that motherfucker, I'll tell you right now, CEO never wished me a happy birthday. Nuh-uh. I don't need to be influenced. I don't need to be won over. I don't fucking know, bro. Sorry, this pause was a weird one. As in, I have so many directions I can ramble right now, but I suppose the first thing I want to say is I did meet Santa. I met him. I really met him today. It's Christmas Day. I met him at fucking about noon. Don't worry, my cats met him earlier. They brought them cookies. But I met Santa. I went to the casino and he was my fucking blackjack dealer. After a few good hands and a couple good tips, he was like, you know, actually, I'm fucking Santa. He's Wasian. Bro, Santa's Wasian. Anyways, got to talking with him. I don't want to go, you know, you don't need all the details, but the important part here, and it's just something hype, I think, he invited me to go visit his grandpa in Guangzhou, who used to be Santa. He was the Santa before this Santa. And he told me the reason this came up was we were talking about Zhao Longbao, and he said his gramps makes the best ones, and he invited me, and he said, "Fucking stop by." Anyways, that's a little bit irrelevant. I'll go to another point, I suppose, of this is what's called exposition. Yo, I was about to just fucking piss while doing this. I'm gonna stop recording. I'm gonna go piss, and then, let me see, my mama texted me a bunch. Be right back. And yo, what up? I'm back. I do want to note, just because I tuned in a little, I opened up my recording, checked out the last 30 seconds. I really vibe heavy with the lazy ass impersonal shit. The world's missing that. I feel like growing up, so much shit was just terrible microphone quality, people rambling, and then you know, so many fucking dorks' lives now are just on Discord, hearing their boys talk. I was gonna say on girls, but I don't fucking know any, so. Um, just rambling on shitty fucking mics, and to me, I don't know. It feels even this is kind of ties back to the authenticity thing. There does feel something terribly inauthentic to me about nice microphone, webcam. The authenticity when it comes to this kind of thing in particular feels very, not even this in particular, most things that you would share in hopes that anonymous people would see or that there's a chance anonymous people would see is that it feels very narcissistic. It feels very, oh, I mean, look what I did. And it's, like put literally this into perspective. It's, hey, so far I've rambled for 20 something minutes about mostly nothing, just kind of how I feel and random little events. But at the same time, that's my favorite stuff to digest. And I know for a fact the people that digest, I could whoop their asses in arm wrestling. So it's, what the fuck stopping me, bro? I could, to the girl, to the girl looking at this video with those beautiful eyes, that fucking smile. You know who I'm talking to. Um, never mind. I love you, work wife. Anyways, I'm goated, you know? That's kind of what I'm trying to convince myself of, and that's why I'm kind of pursuing this, is I do feel like I need to absolutely make myself delusional. Because I've realized when I do act delusional about certain things, I do just excel. And I don't think it's like a cause correlation thing. It is so much of life is just the pure confidence that you let into the world, you know? And then that's why even if I don't fucking laugh at people's jokes, I can carry through other confidence and charismatic things. And this now sounds like I'm fucking self-sucking. I'm not like the fucking goat. I'm not trying to make a million friends, but my point is I'm the fucking, not the, like, even upper echelon, but I'm above the average person mildly in making friends, which always makes the shy dorks impressed. Um, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I kicking a soccer ball right now? It's fucking 2 a.m. No, I'm just lying. It's 8 p.m. No, it's 7 p.m. Jesus Christ, this coffee straight out the fucking espresso is hot as fuck. Alright, yeah. Enough of this little blabbermouthing shit. Let's get down to brass tacks. What all of you came here for. Let's talk about it. Let's see this. Let's say that. Sugar, smell the soccer ball. Kitty, you watch her smell it. You know what, Sugar? How about you prop up? Yep. Put your paw on it real gentle. Make it take 3 seconds. Put it on it. Yep. Um, creating things. Creating things, goals, distractions. That's a big reason I haven't done something like this, even though I have before. Is I have always had an issue with start a big project, start even a small project, but I'm also starting these other projects and all that, and if I can't do it in one sitting, I'm giving it up, essentially because I had another idea. Not because I didn't like the first one. Sure, that happens sometimes, and then I think it's fair. But I'm talking about the times where it's, oh, but I actually have a better idea. Or, oh, this is how I should make this even better. But I feel like the authentic is sharing the actual process, which is kind of what this is. Right now, I've been working on well, one single, not an individual project, but towards an individual project for months. Which, oh, months, that's not that much. But I've touched on this type of project a ton of times before, and then I get distracted and start doing some other bullshit. So it's pretty big. And then I was like, well, fuck, I kind of want to go down this alley because I have played with it before, even though this is my first time doing something like this before. And I've always liked the idea for like 10 years now, more than 10 years. I've liked the idea. I like the sound of my own voice, but I hate my voice. You know what I'm saying? Yo, let me hear some claps for the fellas in the back. Um, don't know what that joke meant. I don't know if I would count it as a joke. Yo, I superseded your expectations. I think that's what it's called. But I really want to be a phenomenal speaker. I want to be able to pursue that, and I want to be able to be the most pure version of myself. Alyosha from Brothers Karamazov, Mishkin from The Idiot, that type of character. I want to be just a pure, pure human being. Obviously, those fucking idiots are carved in certain ways, but I just mean that purity to them is the most attractive thing in the world to me. And it's difficult. And then, the closest people to those are those ditzy folk I was talking about before. So then I was debating for a while, and I kept being like, no, 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 don't distract yourself with another thing, don't distract yourself with another thing. But the way I have this set up, and it kind of ties back to where I was talking about the shitty mic, all that, lazy ass, Megabonk, like fucking doing terrible. I played a bunch of hours after this, and got a lot better. Little British impression for you. It's it's such a in a specific hole, little shape shove into holes puzzle type of equation that I can't do what I would normally do of, hey, let's go overboard, let's do this. Oh wait, no, it would be better if I did that. It would be even better if I did that. Let's spend some time on this. How do I make it better? And then not fucking send it out, not finish it, whatever. So it's practice for that as well, which is very meta. Yeah, I don't mean to brag. This is kind of like a meta thing I'm doing here. Um, but that's another big reason I'm doing this. And it feels crazy to me that this first recording here is just me talking about the recording itself for the most part, or the reasons for it, with nothing to say. And I promise you, my goal is to release more, and I don't got nothing to say. It's just ramblings. I've read a million books. I've thought yo, if you guys could see the kind of stuff I think about, you'd kill yourself and bleep, you'd unalive yourself in a fucking heartbeat. Okay, twin. Um, but Sugi, you're so cute. Yeah, yeah. Next video, I'll have to get my editor to put in some of my kitty cats in. But when I think about these goals and all that, one thing that kind of draws me in is thinking about what is life like for a dude who lives in fucking rural China? in a village of like 30 people. He's never left it. None of his family has ever left it. All he knows, and his house is shit. It's like a little fucking shack. But he lives his whole damn life there. He doesn't have these made up aspirations that you and I have. Like, if you're listening to this, you have some made up fucking aspirations. And it's what drives one to be okay with that. Maybe you don't have aspirations. But even, honestly, that's probably much better. Like the ditzy people. I keep referencing the ditzies. It's, often I feel like they're goalless, you know? They don't have some high hope. They're just totally comfortable with living life. When they have a day off, they're able to just chill and not feel like, oh, I should have done this, I should do that. And when they do have that thought, they just go and do it. You know, like, it's crazy. It's so interesting. And you can read so many psychology books of people saying, well, no, I understand why. And they're all fucking different. They're all different. Talk to... Never mind. Yeah, no, I'm gonna skip that story. Yeah, I feel like I could ramble forever, but I don't think I should. I do think I should have a little bit of a closed loop here. This almost feels like a little bit of an exposition. Not even exposition, a prelude. Um, yeah, how come they got prologues, but they don't got prelogues? Yo, I ate hella fucking beans, call that a prelogue. Anyways, I kind of do like treating this as a, hey, this is kind of what I'm thinking about. This is kind of the direction I'm going for. It's nice to just be able to spit my thoughts out, you know, and for you can hear how much I'm like being shy about it. It is very difficult to express myself openly and honestly and to actually say everything that's come to my mind, even in a situation like this, even though I don't think we'll get many viewers, but like for every viewer we get, please subscribe and like, hey, yo, hey, please make sure you leave like 100 comments. Keep logging into other profiles. Um, I'm trying to get off of this little web show. What does iCarly call their show? I think it's web show. Off of this little web show, I'm trying to become like a fucking billionaire. So any support there would really fucking yeah. I changed my mind entirely. Actually, I started recording this because I was trying to get profit. Because my mama knew a prophet. She said it was me, and only YouTube I bleed, and got two cats of the Siamese breed, and they got some food they need. But yeah, I'm gonna just fucking wrap this shit up. Hey yo, now that you're at this part of the video, yeah, I ain't edit shit. I'm not about that life. Um, but I guess debating whether I want to ramble more anyways. Happiness, that's an interesting thing. The need for striving, the goals, all that. That's kind of a thing I was thinking about with the ditzy people. It's easy to be happy if you don't have goals. And there is no... Sometimes people talk about being goalless as like a shameful thing. There's no reason to have any goals. There's absolutely none. If you're goalless, you've reached all your goals, you know? But Whatevs. Later, players.